north of the Kozice Valley, Tukayyid, Free Russellhag Republic, 7 May 3052. As the 39th Striker Cluster rounded the bend in the high-walled valley pass, Mech warrior Sasha saw the glint of light reflecting off polished metal. A glance at the enhanced display on her forward monitor confirmed her hope. She keyed in her commander's comm frequency.
Star Captain, I have ComGuard mechs at 10 o'clock at a range of 600 meters. Computer identification processing. Complete. 1 guillotine, 1 flashman, and 1 Black Knight. Sir, an anomaly has appeared on the Black Knight scan. It seems to be holding an inert object in its left hand, perhaps a club. Request permission to engage.
Granted, Mech Warrior. To you the honor of first fire.
Before Sasha could fire, the Black Knight drew first blood as it splashed blue lightning across her Hellbringer's right torso. Sasha scowled. The antiquated Magna Hellstar PPC carried by the ComGuard mech should not have struck her at her present range. Obviously, she faced a Black Knight with a few dirty inner sphere tricks up its sleeve. She raised her mech's right arm and fired an answering PPC blast, just as the ComStar mech charged towards her at full speed. Though her PPC fire had missed, Sasha smiled as the Knight closed to short range. The arrogant ComGuard Freebirth would fall to her Hellbringer's medium lasers and missile rack. As laser fire crackled around her, Sasha ran to the canyon's far wall and ducked behind the cover of a rocky outcrop. The Knight had 2 heavy lasers and the ER PPC, yet it still showed blue on her IR scanner. It must be carrying extra heat sinks, meaning that its designers must have made room for them by removing either armour or the mech's standard lasers. Either way, it ought to be vulnerable in close combat. The Stravak ComGuard kept coming, closing the distance between them. When the enemy mech came within 240 meters, Sasha fired everything but one of her PPCs and her machine gun. Her PPC and missiles tore chunks of armor from the white mech's torso, and her lasers stabbed through its left leg. It kept coming, but she had hurt it bad. The Black Knight fired its heavy lasers and missed, but followed up with a deadly accurate pulse laser fire that stitched across her right arm and destroyed the cannon she carried there. Despite the loss of 1 PPC, Sasha felt a wave of exultation. She knew now that the enemy had stripped his mech of close-range weapons. To mount the heavy pulse laser, the inner sphere techs must have dropped the old Maxwell laser that Black Knights usually carried. Sasha stepped over the ridge with confidence, ready to pummel the ComGuard at point-blank range. A barrage of ruby-red laser pulses scored smoking lines across her mech's front. Half a dozen alarms buzzed, shrilled and screamed in her cockpit, and Sasha knew she had miscalculated. Badly. Desperately, she shuffled her mech backwards, loosing missiles and lasers as she went. Her display indicated that most hit home, punching through the Black Knight's vital internal systems. Her Hellbringer's computer postulated the loss of several of the enemy weapons. Unfortunately, her own mech had taken at least as much damage. She had lost both particle cannons, and a sudden flood of heat in the cockpit indicated the loss of reactor shielding. Still, if she could survive long enough to fire another volley, she might just be able to take the Black Knight down. The Black Knight, truly black now that Sasha's attacks had scored and blistered its pristine white paint, stepped forward and raised its left arm. Suddenly, Sasha remembered the club. Only it wasn't a club, it was a sword. Huge and shining and whistling through the air, straight for her cockpit.